fucking sick of movies, man. Don't want to fucking do this anymore. Fucking movies are a bunch of fucking garbage. Hi, Angela. This is Film Review Channel back again with another great, fantastic review of a great movie that I've seen. This time it's David Cronenberg, a prestige director, a classic director, director of films from decades prior, films that people love, films that I love. David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future, a remake of the man's second feature film, 1970s Crimes of the Future. I had an intention of going into this movie having seen all of his prior movies, which wouldn't have been hard for me to accomplish, but I didn't accomplish it. This year, for the first time, I watched Rabid, Shivers, The Brood. I'd never seen The Brood before. Stereo, and 1970s Crimes of the Future. Stereo and Crimes of the Future I just watched 2 days ago. The only ones I have left to watch are Crash and M. Butterfly. I've never seen either. I meant to watch both of them last night, but I had to do other stuff. Favorite David Cronenberg movies: number 1, Videodrome. Number 2 is Maps to the Stars. Number 3, Naked Lunch. Number 4, Scanners. Number 5, The Fly. Of course, the man hasn't released a movie in nearly a decade, and that last movie was the aforementioned Maps to the Stars, which got a mixed reception. Not only is this David Cronenberg's first feature film in nearly a decade, it's his first Sciency weird movie in over 2 decades, since Existenz in 1999, when I was a little boy. Spoiler-free review. I'd rank this in about the middle of David Cronenberg's movies. I really like them all. My least favorite one that I've seen so far has to be Stereo. I don't think this is as good as Maps to the Stars. Think it's better than Cosmopolis. Think it ranks about alongside Eastern Promises. About as good as Eastern Promises. This movie's been hyped up as being kind of freaky. It's like people might think it's going to be something dark and intense. It's definitely on the sillier side. It has some gross stuff in it, but good. Spoiler section. Somewhat regret having seen the original Crimes of the Future before seeing this one, and I just watched that movie the other day, so I was not all that surprised by much of what this movie presented. Carries over a lot of themes of David Cronenberg's prior science fiction features. The movie starts out with a little boy and a mom, and the little boy's eating a plastic trash can, and the mom is like, "You're a freak," and she suffocates the kid in his sleep, and then calls the kid's dad and is like, "Come pick up this creature you call your son. He's dead. I killed him." And then it cuts to Viggo Mortensen, who's like this cancerous freak mutant who's growing organs that he doesn't need. This is the future, and there's a lot of people growing extra organs, and it's not widely understood. The government's looking into it, and Viggo Mortensen is on the cutting edge of this extra organ growing. He's a performance artist that, along with his female partner, she cuts him open and removes his organs in front of everybody as performance art, and they've become quite popular. Catches the attention of government agencies that want to recruit Viggo Mortensen's character to look further into this phenomenon of people growing extra organs, which he does. And in that sense, the film is a lot like Videodrome, Scanners, Naked Lunch, where it's kind of a vague conspiratorial network that our main character is trying to sort through the lies of. And as with those movies, the main character starts out as a double agent and then becomes a double agent by the end, because he sides with the revolutionaries over the Illuminati government. Viggo Mortensen's character, he is approached by the father from the beginning of the movie, who has held on to the body of his dead son, and he says, "I want you to do a performance art where you perform an autopsy on my son." The father of this kid is running an underground network of these people who are growing extra organs like Viggo Mortensen, and they eat plastic. So this evolutionary chain of people eating plastic apparently stemmed back from some experimental surgery that was meant to make it so that people could ingest plastic as some kind of ecological way to save the earth. And apparently, this resulted in people being born with digestive systems that can eat plastic but can't eat normal food. Viggo Mortensen, he does his performance art as a way to, as he says, showcase what's wrong with him. He doesn't think that this is natural, what's happening to his body, and that's why he cuts all the organs out. But a lot of the people who are fans of his work think that what's happening to him is beautiful and that he's like an evolving human being. And it turns out at the end that those people are right. This Viggo Mortensen's character is attempting to evolve into a plastic-eating being. The future. The reason the father wants to have the kid cut open in the performance art is that so the world can see what's inside of this kid. The Illuminati government does not want that out. They get to the kid's body and they replace the organs with whatever other organs. The movie ends with kind of bittersweet because the Illuminati government did mess up the autopsy of the child and the public doesn't get to learn about the new evolutionary chain of people. But Viggo Mortensen's character does have a change of heart. He realizes that he shouldn't be working for the Illuminati government conspiratorial matrix of bureaucratic agencies. He should be working for the plastic-eating revolutionaries. The whole movie, Viggo Mortensen is trying to eat food with the help of this like existence-looking chair, medical chair that's supposed to help people with digestive issues digest their food. And it turns out that all he really needs is to just start eating plastic. And the final shot of the movie is him eating plastic and crying a tear. There's also Kristen Stewart is a big part of the movie. She works for an agency, one of the bureaucratic agencies working under the Illuminati shadow government called the National Organ Registry. Very funny and a lot to think about. One of the better scores from longtime David Cronenberg collaborator Howard Shore. A lot of stuff from Existenz in this movie. This movie looks more like Existenz than it does any other David Cronenberg movie. Love you all. Have a good night. I'm going to go home and watch the animated made-for-television adaptation of Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree.